Well, hi, guys. Good evening. I am Melinda Fargas, your personal vacation specialist, and you're at Weekly Travel Updates. Tonight, the ground was moving in Texas as there was a 5.2, I think, quake this past week. Between the ground moving in Texas and wildfire smoke that reached us here in North Carolina, river cruise operations that are going amok in Europe, and severe weather disruptions all up and down the eastern seaboard, there is a lot to tell you about tonight. Plus, the ETAs and the EES problems that are going on in Europe, they're going to go away because they've decided to delay it until 2027. And the United States has issued a worldwide travel alert. And it's really because of the wars that are going on, because we could be attacked in the air, or because of the disruptions that are going on, they've issued this worldwide alert. And I need to share it with you because we say knowledge is the best passport that you can carry. Well, let's begin with tonight's first story about the 5.0 magnitude earthquake that struck in the Texas Panhandle early Thursday morning. The event shook unusually. It's not something that this part of Texas normally gets, but it was felt all the way to Oklahoma City, felt into St. Louis, and into Denver. That's a huge area. Reports said that even parts of Oklahoma and New Mexico reported feeling the quake as well. And while there was no major damage or injuries, it's a lesson to be learned. A quake does not need to destroy an airport or disrupt a trip. Roads, transportation, elevators in hospitals, elevators in hotels, all those have to be checked after an earthquake. They have to keep essentials running and keep them in check. It's a reminder that you too should have that plan B, and I have a go bag so that if something catastrophic were to happen, I'm going to grab that go bag. It's going to have my passport. It's going to have all of my medicine, makeup, everything that I need to survive for days. It is something that we're just seeing more and more of. And I mean, we have to say that I'm sorry, hold on 1 second. Expect possible aftershocks and keep essentials in your carry-on everywhere you go. Okay? All right. Now we're going to talk about, if I can move my computer back over. Now we're going to talk about the weather watch. Guys, Canadian smoke from the wildfires last week made it all the way south into North Carolina. We had several days where we had a haze, like I remember seeing in Southern California with smog. But we had several days of haze and unhealthy weather for us to be in. So they told seniors and anybody with health conditions to be careful about being outside in it. Speaking of wildfires, boy, across Europe, wildfires in France and Spain forced evacuations and have created a major travel concern. For travelers, the issues are more than just the fire. It's the smoke, it's the road closures, transportation changes, hotel disruptions that can quickly change a trip. When skies look hazy, check the air quality index and not just the weather forecasting. I took some notes today. The fire has reached the city area of Bordeaux, but it is not affecting the wine fields. More than 220,000 people were evacuated over the weekend. And I heard of one U.S. traveler, I think she was from Tennessee. She had rented a home, an Airbnb, and it is in the forest. And the only road to get there is covered with fire. So I'll be sure to follow up on this story because it's a lady and her two sons. And she said that she was sleeping when the evacuation order was announced. She was sleeping with earbuds and didn't hear it. Oh, that's terrible. Anyway, we have got to make some precautions. It's maybe time again to carry mask for if you are caught in a day where you have hazy, non-quality air. In Europe, they call it the yellow alert. There's a yellow alert from this morning at 9 a.m. until Friday evening at 6 p.m. They're expecting a heat wave like that all week long. And the UK has only gotten 1% of the annual rainfall that it normally gets. And that added to the heat wave, it is really a sign of disaster. Travel groups are urging travelers to be prepared because the water levels in Europe is low. Some of the river cruises operations are forcing adjustments or cancellations. And an adjustment might be like we went with Avalon 12 years ago. The reason we went with Avalon is because they are owned by Globus, and Globus has a huge presence in Europe of motor coaches. And so we thought we would be very safe because if the water levels got so low that we had to get from point A to point B, we could do it with a ground operator who already had vehicles in place. And it worked out quite well. I'm not sure what they're doing this year. I haven't heard of anything logistically that was really out of the ordinary or that people are being displaced. But with low water levels, and they're muddying some of the river cruise areas, it has cause for concern. Well, one thing Europe's doing good is they're delaying the launch of the ETIAs until at least 2027. So travelers have a little more time before the new pre-travel authorization takes effect. At the same time, travel groups are urging the European Union to suspend or rethink the UEES rules because of concerns about the very long airport lines. I told you several weeks ago, I had just listened to an interview and the guy had been waiting 7 hours with his family. And he felt like that was quite excessive. Certainly not anything he planned on. the border lines are equally as long. And if they implemented this ETIAS program this year, it would dampen the already slower season that they're seeing. Europe's still worth the trip, but the systems around travel are changing and flexibility matters. Well, speaking of flexibility, let's jump into what we have here. Whoops. Let's see. I guess I didn't do one for that. We've had a huge storm watch in the Northeast. New York airports have been closed or modified times of operation. Weather has been a tremendous factor. It created major flight disruptions across New York. Cancellations and delayed ripple across the system, you know, when it starts in New York, because so many airlines use that as a connecting point. Anyway, cancellations and delays are out there, and the airlines are helping travelers make the changes. It's a good reminder that even after the worst weather moves, recovery delays can continue. If you're flying after a weather event, check your airplane app first, monitor waiver options, and don't assume the original plan is still in place. Of course, if you have a good travel agent like me, then I would keep you abreast of that, especially as you're getting ready to fly. Okay, we're going to jump into a world travel alert. Well, maybe we will. I didn't put that one in here either. Okay, the World Travel Alert is the U.S. State Department issued a worldwide caution. The advisory reminds American tourists to stay alert, monitor changing conditions, and be prepared for possible routing or flight disruptions. This doesn't mean every trip should be canceled. It means every traveler should be informed. Read destination advisories, confirm flights directly, and enroll in the STEP, S-T-E-P program before you travel internationally. Just Google STEP, S-T-E-P. It allows you to let our government know where you're at, how long you're going to be there, possibly a way to contact you, because if there's critical news that you need to know, they have a way to reach you. That's the best way to put it. Okay. I have a little bit of a scratchy throat tonight. I went up to see the kids yesterday in their new house and play with Grayson, and I got wet. And then I got in the car and I drove in the air condition, and I have had the slightest bit of congestion today. Okay, if you haven't heard, Labadee, Haiti has been a port that Royal Caribbean has just skipped over for some time now. You know, about a year and a half ago, a major maximum prison was had a breakout, and 3,000 dangerous criminals spread across Haiti. And they just don't want to take that chance. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be there either. It's not, doesn't mean that an itinerary change is automatic, but in all likelihood, you'll have another day at sea or go to one of the private islands. Read the cruise line's email carefully before changing flights or canceling a reservation, because that was just announced today. We'll see how it flies going forward. I was a little put out that in our January trip, we ported in the Dominican Republic, and we could not go beyond the end of the pier. The end of the pier had a little walkway into the Celebrity and Royal Caribbean's private area with a float pool and shops and restaurants and things like that. But we couldn't go beyond that. So it really has still an effect on travelers. I want to tell you a story about why travel advisors matter. This kind of perfectly explains it. Imagine at 3 o'clock in the morning, a client's flight is canceled, and the airline's automatic service would cause them to miss an important part of their vacation. While the client's asleep, the travel advisor is already at work, calling, explaining the issue, and changing transportation. Why? Because we get a notification as soon as it comes out, just like you, if we're your agent of record. And our job is to see that you get there. That's why a travel advisor matters. Expert help matters most when plans suddenly change. Tonight's Travel Smart takeaway, because we've been doing one of these each week, is a 6-point check before you leave home. Confirm your flights, confirm your rail, your cruise, take a look at what's going on in your ports of call and your transfers. Check the air quality index now that we have all these fires, and read destination advisories, and be sure to enroll in STEP, S-T-E-P. Know what your travel insurance covers before disruption strikes, and carry medications, documents, and chargers, and one change of clothes in your travel bag that you're going to carry with you all the time. Keep your travel advisor's after hours number handy, and you could save this page and share it with others. We would be happy for you to do that. I'd be happy for you to share on YouTube. Just go in and put a little like. It doesn't cost you anything, but it lets YouTube know that not everybody watches from Facebook. Well, guys, I have had an exciting evening. I hope that you have too. I am Melinda Fargas, and before we close, I'm going to bring you up on a developing story with a strong North Carolina connection. A lady from Cary, Elizabeth or Liz Walton, a 44-year-old mother and a physical therapist, she's gone missing while vacationing in Grenada. She was last seen in the Grand Anse Beach at St. George's on July 22nd. So that's 5 days ago. Friends say she may have gone for a swim and was taking while her friend was taking an online course, she had gone for a swim, and they found video of her laying her towel down on the pier, getting into the water, floating and swimming. And then she floats out of the eye of the camera, and she hasn't been seen since. Coast Guards, divers, fishermen, and local residents have joined in the search, and her husband was flying over to Grenada today. Authorities are asking anybody in the area, including boaters, to keep an eye out for her. And tonight we're praying for Liz and her family and everyone involved, that she does come home safely. Well, I'm Melinda Fargas. Thank you for joining us for weekly travel updates. My goal is to make you more informed, because Informed travelers make better journeys. Remember, without a travel agent, you're on your own. And with Action Travel, you're never alone. Thanks so much. Ciao, guys.